Oh, I don't know where we'd be without you, man. So is the broadcast having any effect?
Some outcasts loaded me up with gear. I think they're looking for an alliance. Did you hear? Ballard has a cure.
At this point, I won't believe anything until I see it with my own eyes.
Keep an eye on any stocks from the outcasts. If you see someone sick, give them a hand. Make sure you do it in a way that's sanitary.
We ready to save Aroa?
Fox received a recording from his source. I'm not sure, but I think it could help.
What is it?
Play the recording.
Hey, Genius. What's this thing keeping people in Aroa?
The drone perimeter. We're calling it Operation Citadel. I think Walker came up with the name.
And there's no weak spots.
The perimeter is made up of different interlocking sectors, and each sector has its own drone swarm. Each swarm is managed by an AI that runs through a local relay terminal.
I could see that system working for surveillance, but it took out my chopper without firing a shot.
The swarms, they're made up of dozens of miniature drones that act in unison, like a flock.
You made an artificial bird strike.
No. We made artificial birds to do the job of bees. Pollination. It's Stone and Walker who militarized our swarms to create a deadly shield perimeter. Who thinks like that?
People after power. Skeltech needs to start thinking more like its clients. How well did you know Walker?
Well, we fixed things together. He was a military advisor brought in after the Skeltech bombing. We were still in mourning for the friends we lost, and then this hero shows up. He was magnetic, charismatic, you know? Like a TV star or something.
Yeah, that guy could charm the fleas off a dog. He kinda changed after he left the unit.
He never spoke about it.
Well, it's top secret. Let's just say it wasn't pretty. I suppose you got tricked into inviting private military contractors to Aroa.
Well, I mean, not exactly. We're self-governing.
You used to be.
Okay, we used to be. We needed security. Not just as a police force, but as security. At least that's what Miles got me to finally admit.
Against pirates and the mole men and such.
Our drone security was limited. It still is. If unauthorized people land, we would know about it, but we couldn't do anything about it.
You're obviously not afraid of squatters. You were afraid of corporate spies?
We do get spies from time to time. Don't tell the shareholders, but the more our tech discoveries are disseminated throughout the world, the better off it'll be. But I was worried about the safety of our staff, the bombing. I just never imagined the antibiotics would be more deadly than the illness. Sentinel snuck a private army into the abandoned U.S. military complexes. Stone's been planning this takeover from day one. My colleague, Ayana Puri, who dealt with this, certainly has a better picture.
This guy, Trey Stone, doesn't make things easy.
He always seemed kind of ambitious. He and Walker always had some friction.
Walker mentioned Stone before, but never in a friendly way. I take it he isn't very likable?
He's a creep. But I've had to work with all kinds of people before. Sometimes you tolerate jerks just because they get the job done.
Did he get the job done?
I don't actually know. He kind of insulated himself. As a subcontractor, I couldn't supervise him the way I did other people. I had to trust Walker when he said things were going well.
Fox called you his best friend.
Yeah, I never thought about it, but I guess he's mine too.
Times like this, you can count your real friends on one hand. You known him a while? He a buddy from college or something?
No. A few years ago, I hired him as a consultant. He was working on the problem P versus NP.
That literally means nothing to me.
It's a math problem. One of the math problems. But Fox was just so enthusiastic about everything, I widened the scope of his role. He was involved in every non-military project Skeltec had.
He's a good guy to have around.
Absolutely.
What's the deal with this chick on all the video screens? Ayanna Puri.
Yeah, my CFO.
I guess she's just, fulfilling her regular job duties. Sharing the company news?
Yeah. Did you see the one where she said I was crazy? Having a mental breakdown or something?
It's not a bad propaganda campaign.
She's not as smart as she thinks she is. Her strategies were always traditional. She's never had any real vision.
So why keep her?
She seems so genuinely concerned about the employees' welfare. Now I see she's just playing office politics. She's more clever than smart. She's effectively taken over as CEO.
Hey, did Fox tell you who his inside source might be? I don't want to press him, I'm not even 100% sure that he has one, but if that source gets into trouble, he could need someone to help out.
He hasn't told me, and I doubt he would respond well to a man with a gun asking him the question.
Hey, you don't have to tell me, just as long as you know.
I don't know. And it's not like him to be quiet about anything. I mean, the things that guy told me about his ex-wife, it was like listening to a guy describe a squid eating a chocolate birthday cake. Nobody needs to hear that.
So, if he is keeping this secret, it must be pretty big.
Must be.
Hey, Genius. I always thought you were more of a pacifist. It's a shame you had to start making lethal drones.
I was naive, I guess. I always hoped for the best out of people, you know? When a bomb goes off and I meet the wrong person at the worst time, I bought their logic that if you want peace, carry a big stick line of reasoning. Stone even said, doesn't God have his avenging angels guarding the gates of paradise? It never felt right here. We're building heaven on earth, and we're not gods.
Is that why you kept it a secret, Project Omega? Because, you know, some people might look at it as a PR shield, keeping the image of a pacifist whilst making money on weapons.
PR is important, but you don't wear a seatbelt because you're planning to get into a car crash, right?
You have to be cautious.
Right.
The Outcast bombing must have hit you pretty hard.
Maybe you read about it. I lost my wife in the September 11th attack on the World Trade Center.
Sorry, I didn't know. I guess I can't blame you for bringing in Stone and Sentinel.
Do you know what it feels like to lose someone?
Yeah, I do.
You get all torn up inside. You get to feel like you're falling, but it's an endless fall. You grab hold of anything you can.
So, what am I grabbing hold of now?
I don't know. Us. We need you, Nomad. But you probably need us every bit as much.
Hey, I've been hearing about that World 2.0 stuff, and maybe the world needs a software patch. But a utopia? Really?
People out there in the rest of the world, they think the Earth's dying. They have this belief in scarcity. They think that we'll run out of energy, out of space, or out of water, or anything. And that makes every day a crisis.
And World 2.0 would fix that crisis?
It was more about fixing that mentality. I wanted to show the rest of the world that with innovation, with creativity, and with a little courage, it's easy to see the universe as abundant.
And how about now?
It's still an abundant universe. That hasn't changed. Just, I thought I could keep out jealous people and the cowards.
No getting away from them.
No. I'm probably not as brave as I want to be either.
I met a lot of Skeltech employees who are mad at you.
The outcasts. Sentinel hasn't taken care of them yet?
They're naive, but they can learn. They can do some good for the island.
They're small-minded, fearful. If they think the world is going to destroy them, it will.
Well, we need them, so maybe we can change their minds.
Some people don't change, Nomad.
But some of them do. How did you buy Aroa in the first place?
I didn't buy it. I leased it. Aroa is technically part of New Zealand, but the U.S. had leased it for years.
Yeah, that's why there's the old naval station. But wouldn't it have been easier to rent a chunk of California or something? I'm sure there's a big stretch of the Mojave that nobody wants.
Yeah. The abandoned naval station here piqued our interest initially, hoping we could piggyback on the Cold War infrastructure. That was a wash. But once we had visited Aroa, its biodiversity won us over. Good Hope Mountain has ice, Infinity is surrounded by fields, and the swamps of Finnbog sport as harsh conditions as any good drone tester could wish for. We fell in love with the place. I bought the lease from the U.S. government.
And now these are your islands. No government but Skeltech.
Well, avoiding government regulation was a factor.
I'll bet it was. You healed up from the bombing attack? I mean, in your head?
Yeah, well, I had to deal with the aftermath. First team to inspect the site. I still remember all those broken windows, shattered shards of glass. I kept thinking, we can fix those. We can fix those. I got the windows fixed, but I stopped scheduling non-vital meetings in the Skell Foundation head office. It's different than when you see something on TV. It's just reporters and sirens. It's the smell. So acrid it singes your nostrils, like the energy around you has been sucked away, you know?
Yeah, I do.
And the bombers were never caught. We never knew if another one was coming. We suspected the outcast, but now that Sentinel's taken over, I wonder.
And you're the one asked Sentinel to step in.
Yeah, that's on me.
I need more about Paula Madeira. How long have you known her?
Years. I hired her right out of grad school. Actually, she was still in grad school. She was only 20, but she was just so smart. I knew that with her, I could lay the foundation of Skeltech's advanced drone program.
But are you friends? Was there something else going on, or what? There's something I'm missing.
I think hiring her so young, she never really learned the art of adapting. She didn't like working with Walker, and I could have handled her differently. I know I need to talk to her about that.
You didn't answer my question.
It hurt. She was so special and one of the first to truly believe. And in hindsight, she was also right. She saw right through Walker. She was immune to his charm. And I was deaf to her warnings.
When did you get away from using dollars?
You like the Screds?
I don't understand them.
They're a cryptocurrency. As much as we could, we wanted to get away from the control of international banking.
But it's a made-up money.
All money is made up. It only has value because we all agree on it as a medium of exchange. Everyone in Aurora agrees to use Screds. And Scaletech makes sure to create a limited supply.
So if we all agree to use your play money instead of dollars, the economy still works the same way?
Money's only worth what you think it's worth.
My mind? Blown. I get that Maddox ain't exactly warm and friendly, but why do people hate her?
They don't hate her as much as they fear humanity's evolutionary destiny.
Whoa. That sounds a little intense, even for you.
Grace Maddox is in charge of Skeltech's transhumanist research, Project Deus. Yeah, on a personal level, she's not, fun.
She's also really into herself.
Sure, she's really effective. I gave her a huge budget. She wants more.
You give it to her?
Ayana Puri, my CFO, wouldn't let me. So Maddox cut costs. Instead of spending the time to perfect a true quantum computer, she developed a DNA-based computer that behaves like a quantum computer.
And you know what she's doing with that?
She plans to download her mind onto that computer. I know it sounds a little crazy and unbelievable, but someone will do it. And she should be first.
Sometimes it seems like Harmony's the only Skeltech kid in Aroa.
I don't know. We invited more people to Aurora who had children, but most of them turned us down. It was kind of great having Harmony around.
Kinda worked out, though. There ain't so many kids in Aroa for me to worry about.
Believe me, worrying about Harmony is enough.
You two seem to get along.
Yeah? She treats me like another kid. She's smart, but having her around helps me see things with new eyes.
But aside from her dad, she has no one else here?
No, just me.
Are you and Paul okay now?
I hope so. I've known her almost her whole adult life, you know?
You're kind of her mentor.
A mentor's more than a boss. More than a friend, even. I've guided her entire career. I don't want her to feel betrayed.
She's here now. That's something. That's at least a start. You sure this virus is gonna work?
Absolutely. It's not a computer virus like any other. Yes, it will hack systems, controlling a sector of drones, but this virus includes an evolutionary algorithm.
Machine learning backdoor malware. I like my attacks a little simpler.
But our opponent, the systems, they're too complex to come at them with anything less. But don't worry. Paul and I will make it work.
I hope so, genius. I hope so. So what does a billionaire arms dealer do when he's not manufacturing killing machines?
Skeltech is responsible for an extensive catalog of inventions over the past decades.
I'm listening.
Our first economically viable autonomous machine was the Skell Farmer, a harvester capable of recognizing the range and rightness of crops. Since then, it's found unintended utility in mining and forestry.
So explain to me how you got from farming drones to war machines.
Our next invention, the Skell Transporter, was the first affordable smart delivery device, a new standard in the industry. The Skell Doctor may interest you, an advanced cousin specialized to carry sensitive medical supplies. You could easily shoot one out of the sky to steal its payload.
Could be useful.
Our Cherubim City and Sky models behave like mobile CCTVs, capable of facial and behavioral identification, and alert authorities in real time. I suggest you steer clear of them if you want to move undetected.
I'll keep that in mind.
My point is that I have dedicated my life to improving the human condition and relieving the population from the crushing weight of repetitive work.
Well, let's see if we can make sure your legacy's intact at the end of this. Genius. I need you to tell me everything you can about all the lethal drones out there.
Of course. Anything I can do to help undo what I've done. It all started with two basic military training drones. The Incubus for ground and its airborne sister, the Succubus. They were then multi-purpose, giving birth to new models. Eamon and his flying sibling Murmur were taught to patrol areas in the wild. Ime and Malphus were designated for location defense. The meanest models were Andrus and Stolas, search and destroy drones that the wolves just love.
I'm sure they're all perfectly tailored for whatever Walker's got in mind. Go on.
Behemoths are massive tank-like machines with incredible firepower. You'll mostly find them guarding infrastructure and strategic assets. Azraels, on the other hand, are long-range, high-altitude spy drones. They're capable of recon over a wide array of land and utilize heat sensors and pattern recognition to identify threats and intrusions. They aren't very well suited for battle, though. They mostly just point out targets so that strike forces can do the dirty work.
Thanks, Genius. Wish me luck. Explain something to me. This Titan program. Why in the hell would you think it was a good idea to build giant killing machines? Aren't lethal drones enough?
I recognize that smaller drones are already deadly and far more cost-efficient, but I was influenced.
Walker?
He was always complaining that the existing drones didn't have enough media presence. These days, wars are fought on television screens. He wanted Titans that could exude charisma and raise hope and simultaneously suffocate the spirit of a nation.
Sounds charming.
I find that once I'm given a task, my inspiration is fueled by the vacuum. I knew that what Walker wanted was entirely unnecessary for counterterrorism, but I got carried away. Now I shudder to imagine what he intended the whole time.
You're not the only one. Stay out of trouble.
Focus is my forte.
I don't have much time. One of Walker's lackeys, one of the wolves, Walker beat him severely. Others had been killed. I don't know if they were deserting, if they were traitors. I don't know why Walker did that. That wolf, he knows something. He must. He was spotted near Ancient Harbor. You have to hurry.
toes, everyone. We got hostiles in the area. Wolf on target. Wolf spotted. That's it. I'm here! Laying down fire! All clear, boss. On your toes. We got hostiles nearby. Support unit in the vicinity. I see one there.
Crazy to come with us now and disturb the peace.
Keep doing that.
We got company! Soldiers, I got eyes on the bad guys!
Shit, they know we're here. Enemy position marked there. I hit one. Oh. Support unit spotted, boss.
Quiet as hell over here. Doubt ghosts will show up. Way too calm here.
Hey! Get the hell down, man!
Hell yeah, Nomad. They're gonna be coming. Stay low. All clear here.
Start the next phase? You bet your ass that's what it means. Well, that was fast. Yup. Buckle up. Because there's no turning back now.
Wake up. Hostiles in the area. I've marked a wolf on target. Heads up. I've spotted a wolf.
got a wolf on target. I've marked a wolf on target.
Right here. The sub is leaving.
Who's leaving on it?
Hell if I know. None of us are. I think there's a cargo.
You think it's part of his plan?
Brother, you don't get yourself a submarine unless it's part of your plan. You know what I mean?
Shit. I guess you're right. Should investigate. Man, they got everyone out on patrol. This fjord is packed. No sign of threat.
Holy shit. Nice shot, boss.
No movement. Rush, quiet as well. Nothing to report.
Sweet shot, Ghost Lead.
Man, they got everyone out on patrol. This fjord is packed.
Good. More overtime.
Nah, something's up. Something big.
I heard the sub is leaving.
What? You think Walker's getting ready to start the next phase?
You bet your ass that's what it means.
Well, that was fast.
Yup. Buckle up. Because there's no turning back now.
We're secure.
Now, aren't you looking riled? You running from somebody or to somebody?
Laugh while you can. Have you thrown down with that son of a bitch, Walker? A few weeks back, he caught some of us breaking the rules.
Did you guys ever hear the one where Little Red Riding Hood goes into the forest, but this time she's read the fairy tale, so she brings a really, really big gun. So she's headed to Grandma's. And what do you know? Big bad wolf grabs her. And he says, no, I got you. And I'm gonna screw you all night long.
Hey, Will.
So Little Red pulls out her gun. She hikes up her skirt. And she says, no way. You're gonna eat me. Just like the fairy tale.
Attention!
Y'all having fun? Wolves! Huh? The elite. Best of the best. But here you are. You drunk? Fraternizing with civilians? And how about you, you pathetic piece of shit? You just let that woman take your weapon.
We're just trying to relax, sir.
Well, shit. I'm sorry. I would not want to get in the way of you trying to relax.
And the pistol's not loaded, sir.
I have to say, it sure as shit seems loaded to me. What do you think? You think you belong in my wolves? You think you belong on my battlefield? Well, let's see. Let's see. Come on. Come on.
Oh, I thought I was fast. I've never seen a man move that fast. If I hadn't run, I'd be dead. He killed the others.
He's got a habit of killing his own men.
He sure holds us to a high standard. He moved house after that little incident. Walker's a guy with a very clear idea of what an American soldier should be.
That's not the only line you crossed. What's Walker's plan?
You'll find the answers you're looking for in the Wolves HQ. It's to the south. It's called Shark Base. I'm only telling you this so that my friends don't have to hunt you down. Have fun dying.